The Government Medical Officers Association issued a fresh warning today that they would launch another strike action if they do not receive a response to the 5 demands they presented to the government. Meanwhile, Dr. Neville Fernando, who is the chairperson of CITEM, expressed CITEM's stance on the matter.
In 2006,
the then Minister of Higher Education, Professor Vishwa Varnapala, said close to 100,000 students in Sri Lanka qualify to enter university, but only 18,000 are enrolled. So I went and spoke to the minister and I said I would sell the Asha Central Hospital for 1.6 billion rupees and start a private university. I also wrote a letter to the then chairman of the University Grants Commission, Gamini Samaranayaka, that I wish to establish a private institution. He replied by saying that the University Act does not allow private universities. I knew that there were several universities in Sri Lanka with affiliations with overseas universities which award degrees. Then I spoke with the chairman of the Board of Investment at the time, Dhammika Perera. He said I should meet two factors. One was to get an MOU with a leading university in the world. We then went to Russia and signed an agreement with the Nizhny Novgorod State Medical Academy. We have that agreement even today. Professors from Russia came down to Sri Lanka for examinations even last year. I am contributing a very valuable hospital to the government. I have promised the banks to even pay the debts. This hospital belongs to CITEM until these debts are paid, and once all of it is paid, it goes to the government.
However, the Government Medical Officers Association says it will not deviate from its original stance on CITEM. Following an emergency meeting of its Central Working Committee, the GMOA presented 5 demands to the government. Gather the medical education standards as promised in the Court of Appeal by the Minister of Health and legalize the technical report of the Medical Council. Inform court that CITEM has not received the necessary certification of the Medical Council through the Minister of Higher Education. Halt enrollment of students to CITEM. Ban the institute from issuing degrees. Appoint a committee so that the current students of CITEM can receive a solution which is acceptable to the Medical Council. The GMOA also calls on the government to take steps to nationalize CITEM.
The person who can adapt to the changing world will be left behind. This affects the nation as well. They spew out lies, make people clap for them, and then try to move forward in this manner. This is like you are trying to drive a car while the handbrake is engaged. The toad in the well thinks he has conquered the 7 seas when he circles around the well 7 times.
If this is the manner in which officials respond to these issues, then we are left with only one option: protests and strikes. The next few days will be crucial. The Central Working Committee has given us the green light to launch a non-stop island-wide trade union action. We are not going to strike based on Minister Rajit's statement. We call on the government to send someone responsible to explain the government's stance.
The President has put forward some policies. The Cabinet of Ministers proposed several solutions to this issue on Tuesday. A regulatory mechanism will also be set up to monitor both government and private institutions independently. Education also includes humaneness, not just a degree. I believe that they won't engage in another strike.
The Satyagraha campaign launched by the parents of university students calling for CITEM to be abolished continued today as well. The Fort Magistrates today issued an order to take steps to remove the platform of the protesters, which has been set up opposite the Fort railway station. Protests were organized today as well by students of the Karapitiya and Kelaniya universities against CITEM.
The students are being dragged into protests by the extremist Frontline Socialist Party. It is not a leftist movement. They have been joined by the GMOA. We will fearlessly speak out against such persons. If everyone is frightened by them, then this country will become one full of liars.